On today's episode of Notable New England, I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Did you know that New Englanders eat more ice cream than people in any other part of the United States? And perplexing others, we eat it year-round without shame. Luckily, we have no shortage of amazing ice cream places here, and we're going to explore some of them. After we finish, I guarantee you're going to want to hop in the car and try some of these places out if you haven't already. Get ready for a tasty episode. Hello, lovely listeners, and welcome back to Notable New England. I'm your host, Gretchen B., and I hope everyone has been having a good summer so far. Can you believe it's August already? Time sure is flying. We've certainly had some scorches lately, right? Hopefully you've been able to get to the beach and do some other fun summer activities to stay cool. Today, I've got a yummy episode in store for you. We're going to explore some of New England's finest ice cream spots, and you are going to be sure to be craving a cup or a cone or even a sundae after we finish. But before we get to the ice cream, let's dig into some Wicked Light Bites, light, community-oriented stories and happenings from each New England state. An electrical engineer living in rural Vermont decided to repair old payphones for his community to provide residents with free phone service in their cell service desert. Patrick Schlott says, quote, "I realized, wow, there's no cell service for 10 miles in either direction. The community could really benefit from something like this." He approached the owners of the North Tunbridge General Store with the idea to install the old payphones around town at no cost to the places that host them and where the public could use them for free. They agreed and had him install a payphone at their location. Since then, 2 other locations have popped up due to people in the community requesting them, one being at the Latham Library in Thetford and one at an informational booth off of Interstate 89 in Randolph. Patrick Schlott buys the phones from flea markets, online listings, or auctions and repairs them. And all that is needed to get the phones working after that is an internet connection. There's a piece of equipment that is used to convert an internet phone line to an analog line that the phones use. Patrick covers the costs on his own, which would be $2 to $3 a month for each phone line, and then less than $5 a month in calls. And if you dial 0 on one of these payphones, you are connected to Patrick's personal cell phone, and he'll field and transfer calls. He says that so far, the Latham Library phone gets the most use and has had 370 calls since it was installed 5 months ago. Patrick has seen increasing interest in the service, and it's been helpful in providing service to kids without cell phones needing their parents to pick them up after school, or people who break down and need a lift, for instance. He has another install that's going to happen at the Brownell Library in Essex. He says, quote, "It's cool to see something retro that has that old school appeal, but also works. To actually hear it ring, to pick up and have a dial tone, I think there's real power in that," he said. "And I don't think they should end up in a landfill. They should be recycled and put to good use." Information for this item comes from Amanda Swinhart at the Associated Press. Arts Alley in Concord, New Hampshire, which is located between the Bank of New Hampshire stage and the Concord Co-op, is now officially open, and its hope is to become a new center in the city for live music, food, and events in downtown Concord. The Courtyard kicked off its summer concert series on August 1st, along with the opening of Rose and Rye, a retro train car style diner serving up nostalgia fare from hot dogs to milkshakes. The Friendly Toast, which has locations all over New England and serves breakfast and brunch style fare, will be opening before the fall, and Duke's, a Nashville-inspired restaurant and bar, will open next year. Information for this story came from Catherine McLaughlin at the Concord Monitor. The 54th annual Winslow, Maine Blueberry Festival is coming up the weekend of August 8th and 9th. It's at the Winslow Congregational Church at 12 Lithgow Street. The Friday, August 8th evening will feature a chicken barbecue fundraiser to benefit the Winslow Cupboard Food Pantry, and they will have live music. There will be over 700 blueberry pies and other blueberry treats available for purchase both days of the festival. There will be a blueberry pancake breakfast on Saturday morning. There are lots of activities for the whole family to enjoy, from live music to a big yard sale, kids' activities, and arts and crafts vendors. The Blueberry Festival helps to raise funds to empower the humanitarian work for the Winslow Congregational Church. The festival runs Friday, August 8th from 3 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. and Saturday, August 9th from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Admission is free, and information about the festival came from the Town Line newspaper. The Berkshire Botanical Garden is hosting the Grow Show on Saturday, August 9th through Sunday, August 10th, where floral designers and backyard gardeners display their beautiful arrangements and summer harvests to be part of a judged event featuring 5 design and nearly 80 horticultural classes on display in the exhibition hall. Anyone is welcome to enter, and there's no charge to participate. If you think you've got what it takes, visit the Berkshire Botanical Gardens website, which I'll link in the show notes, for instructions on entering your floral design or horticulture entry. The Berkshire Botanical Garden is located at 5 West Stockbridge Road in Stockbridge, Massachusetts. This past Friday, volunteers gathered in Providence, Rhode Island to assemble 15,000 backpacks and more than 80,000 school supplies as part of the Back to School celebration, which is in its 26th year. The backpacks will be distributed to families in need on Saturday, August 23rd at 12 locations between Woonsocket and Newport. I'm going to put the link to the 12 locations in the show notes for your convenience. The backpacks are free, and students must be present to pick one up. This information comes from Sean Town of WPRI. The Hartford, Connecticut Public Library will be offering free eye exams for children ages 5 to 18. This is the 4th summer in a row that they've done this alongside the nonprofit Vision to Learn, which provides no-cost eye exams, vision screenings, and eyeglasses to children at schools in low-income communities. Since the Hartford Library and Vision to Learn have teamed up, they've provided 340 children with eye exams, and 253 free eyeglasses have been distributed. The library's president, Bridget E. Quinn, says, quote, "By offering no-cost eye exams and eyeglasses, we're helping to empower children with the tools they need to thrive when they return to school in the fall." Vision to Learn's mobile clinics will be visiting the Barber Library at 261 Barber Street in Hartford, and that will be on August the 5th. The Campfield Library at 30 Campfield Ave on August 6th. The Downtown Hartford Library at 500 Main Street on August the 8th, and the Ropkins Library at 1750 Main Street on August 11th. I'll put a link to the scheduling website where you can sign up for an exam for your child or a child you know who is in need. Information for this story comes from Carla Perez of NBC Connecticut. Up after this break, get your taste buds ready to explore some of New England's great ice cream places. I'm getting hungry just thinking about them. Stay tuned. You're listening to Notable New England. Hi, everyone. It's me, Gretchen B., the host of Notable New England. I just want to take a moment to thank you for listening to the podcast. Notable New England is a one-person labor of love. I don't have a team of producers. I don't have a team of writers. I don't have a sound designing crew. It's just me bringing you stories and voices that help us all connect more deeply to this beautiful, interesting, and historic region that we call home. If you've been enjoying the show and want to support what I'm doing, there are a few ways that you can help. First, you can become a sustaining member at patreon.com/Notable New England. Again, patreon.com/Notable New England. Even $2 a month goes a long way to help cover the time and tools it takes to keep the podcast going. Or you can make a one-time donation at buymeacoffee.com/Notable New England. Again, buymeacoffee.com/Notable New England. Perfect if you just want to show your appreciation and help me keep the lights on. But I know not everyone can give financially, and that is totally okay. If you want to support the show in a big way that costs absolutely nothing, please leave a 5-star review on your podcast app. It really helps others to find the show. You can also tell a friend, neighbor, or family member who loves New England and New England stories, or they want to reconnect with their community. The mission of Notable New England is simple: to inspire you to explore where you live, meet your neighbors, shop local, learn your community's history, and become part of shaping a better future for New England. This is truly a grassroots effort, and every little bit of support helps grow this community. Thanks for being here. Let's keep discovering New England together. If you live in New England, you know one of our dietary staples is a healthy dose of ice cream. And yes, it is true. New Englanders eat more ice cream than people from other parts of the U.S. We also eat it year-round, not unlike how we are with our iced coffee, where we drink that all year. Obviously, we have quite a large array of ice cream spots all over our region that offer amazing flavors and fun. So we're going to look into some of them today. And I'd love to hear from you where some of your favorite places to get ice cream are. Visit the Notable New England social media channels, which I have linked in the show notes, or go to patreon.com/Notable New England and chime in on the community chat. Let's help others find awesome places to indulge their sweet tooth. With locations in Bedford, Massachusetts and Concord, Massachusetts, Bedford Farms Ice Cream has been dishing out tasty scoops since the 1940s. Bedford Farms was a dairy established in 1880 by J.B. Prescott Company, and in the late 1940s, they started to make ice cream and deliver it to homes and local stores. In the 1960s, Bedford Farms Milk Division was sold, and the business was solely operated as an ice cream stand. In 1984, the current owners purchased the business, and in 2001, they expanded to Concord, Massachusetts. In 2008, Bedford Farms expanded its ice cream production to a new location in Bedford, and it is where their homemade flavors are created today. They boast over 60 flavors of locally sourced ice cream, including flavors like Cherry Bomb, Green Monster, Red Raspberry Chip, Muddy River, and more, as well as frozen yogurt and soft serve. They also have ice cream cakes to purchase for your special celebration. The portions are huge. Be prepared. You get a good value for your buck. You can visit their Bedford location at 20 North Road and their Concord location at 68 Thoreau Street. The ice cream barn at Baker Farm in Swansea, Massachusetts, started as a chance encounter between two separate businesses. In 2008, Tom and Jocelyn Sater were making ice cream using locally sourced ingredients and selling at farmers markets and festivals. They had a dream of expanding so they could reach more locals and share their delectable ice cream with them. Meanwhile, Kenny Baker had always dreamed of having an ice cream stand on his farm where he could use his own milk from his cows to make the ice cream. Kenny had inherited his family's farm at the age of 13 after the unexpected death of his father. He has worked tirelessly to keep Baker Farm as an agricultural business versus having to sell it to developers. A friend of Kenny's happened to be a customer of Tom and Jocelyn, and he brought the three together, and the rest is history. The ice cream barn at Baker Farm opened in 2012, and all ice cream is made fresh on site with locally sourced ingredients. In 2020, they switched all of their packaging to compostable products. All of their packaging is made from plants, which can then be composted. Some of their flavor offerings include apple crisp ice cream, coffee milk ice cream, cranberry jubilee, as well as everyday favorites like chocolate chip, cookie dough, strawberry, and more. The ice cream barn at Baker Farm is located at 289 Locust Street in Swansea, Massachusetts. In 1940, Hayward's Homemade Ice Cream in Nashua, New Hampshire opened its doors, and ever since, it's been dishing up some of New Hampshire's favorite premium homemade ice cream. Hayward's is family-owned and operated and has been since day one. In 2019, they opened a second location in Merrimack, New Hampshire, and in addition to their super premium ice cream, they offer menu items like steamed hot dogs, hamburgers, fries, chicken tenders, and more. In 2020, Hayward's moved its ice cream production to a larger facility where they can produce up to 2,000 gallons of ice cream each week. They offer an impressive mix of flavors, including one called Appalachian Trail, which is espresso ice cream with Heath bar chunks and a marbling chocolate swirl. There's one called Caramel Tsunami, which is caramel ice cream with a thick caramel swirl and caramel-filled truffles, and New Hampshire Black Bear, which is a mix of red raspberry ice cream with dark and white chocolate chips and raspberry-filled dark chocolate truffles. To taste Hayward's ice cream goodness, you can visit them at 7 Daniel Webster Highway in Nashua, New Hampshire, or at their Merrimack, New Hampshire location at 364 Daniel Webster Highway. Ilsley's Ice Cream in Ware, New Hampshire is a little red ice cream shop in the countryside, which opened 10 years ago. They have a front lawn with picnic tables, cow benches, painted cow statues, and real cows grazing in the fields of the family's dairy farm across the street. They are a little bit off the beaten path, but you will be glad you ventured there as they make some amazing homemade ice cream. Ilsley's is a family-owned and run shop. Lisa Ilsley is a fifth-generation dairy farmer who studied at UNH, and each morning she makes ice cream at the shop, which is ready to be scooped in the afternoon. In addition to homemade ice cream, they make their own homemade waffle cones, sundaes, and ice cream sandwiches. They offer 10 classic flavors, and Lisa says she experiments with unique flavors based on customer suggestions or things that she's always wanted to try to make. There's one flavor that many of the regulars love that they call breakfast, which is maple cream and brown sugar oatmeal in a waffle cone. Ilsley's has gathered a loyal following of locals over the years who show up time and time again for the delicious ice cream and atmosphere. Ilsley's is located at 33 South Sugar Hill Road in Ware, New Hampshire. Vermont is known for its signature Maple Creamy, a slightly creamier soft serve ice cream, but with a lower milk fat than hard ice cream. If you find yourself in Brattleboro, Vermont, you need to try Vermont's first certified organic Maple Creamy at Lilac Ridge Farm, available May through October at their Creamy stand. Lilac Ridge is a fourth-generation certified organic dairy in Brattleboro. Their 600 acres of land is conserved through the Vermont Land Trust, which means it can't be sold off for development. They are also proud to be a part of the Vermont Maple Creamy Trail. Lilac Ridge Farm is located at 30 Covey Street in Brattleboro, Vermont. At Kingdom Creamery of Vermont, you can rest assured that every ice cream they offer is made using milk sourced from their family's dairy farm in the Northeast Kingdom. At Kingdom Creamery of Vermont, you can enjoy a premium selection of hard ice cream, yogurt, fresh milk, creamy and soft serve, and also milkshake mixes. Their dairy is free from artificial flavors, colors, and RBST. They offer a variety of wonderful flavor combinations to delight any ice cream lover. The creamery is run by the Michaud family, who moved their dairy farm to East Hardwick, Vermont in the 1950s from Quebec. In 2011, Kingdom Creamery was created as a way to diversify their production. They use milk from their cows at Clarendon Farm. They offer 30 different flavors, including ones like Vermont Mud Ice Cream, Java Chip, and Majestic Maple. They also supply their ice creams to other creamy and ice cream stands in Vermont. They developed a retail brand, too, which is distributed to shops all across New England. To taste their wonderful ice cream creations, you can visit their stand at 3411 Vermont Route 16 in East Hardwick, Vermont. Powder Mill Creamery in Greenville, Rhode Island offers over 50 flavors of homemade ice cream made right on the premises. Not only do they offer a variety of flavors and homemade waffle cones and bowls, but they also offer gluten-free and vegan options, as well as pup cups for your canine companion. They also make their own homemade cider donuts, so grab one to enjoy with some ice cream. The shop is located right across from the Waterman Reservoir and a small pond, and the address is 777 Putnam Pike in Greenville, Rhode Island. Clementine's Homemade Ice Cream has 3 shops in East Greenwich, Middletown, and Portsmouth, Rhode Island, and is named after the owner's dog, Clementine. They've been open since 2017 and serve delicious homemade ice cream made with high-quality ingredients. They offer service with a smile, and they regularly give back to charities in their community. They offer over 25 flavors, including the standard favorites, as well as flavors like banana, oatmeal cookie, and more. They offer frozen yogurt, no sugar added ice cream, non-dairy flavors, and sorbet. You can also get banana boats, sundaes, cabinets, which, if you are not familiar, are a Rhode Island specialty. It's an ice cream-based milkshake consisting of coffee ice cream, coffee syrup, and milk. They also offer ice cream floats and malted milkshakes. You can also take home hand-packed pints and quarts. If you want to get the inside scoop on Clementine's delicious ice cream, you can visit them at 2934 South County Trail in East Greenwich, Rhode Island, 62 Wave Avenue in Middletown, Rhode Island, or 1016 East Main Road in Portsmouth, Rhode Island. One of the highlights when you visit Mystic, Connecticut is a trip to Mystic Drawbridge Ice Cream. It's located right next to the Mystic River Bascule Drawbridge, so you'll often see tourists and onlookers watching the drawbridge go up and down on its schedule, which is 40 minutes past the hour from 7:40 a.m. to 6:40 p.m. As Mystic Drawbridge Ice Cream states, they only use the best ingredients, such as sweetening with real cane sugar, to cooking down and emulsifying real fresh fruits, to sourcing only the best pure bourbon, vanilla, or imported Dutch cocoa. They even go as far as custom roasting their nuts, and they strive to only buy local, whether that be maple syrup, honey, lavender, or other ingredients. Each flavor and recipe is unique, and most of the flavors are family recipes of over 32 years. They also say that they minimize overrun, which means the air percentage added to the ice cream. All ice cream has air whipped into it because if it didn't, it would just freeze solid like a rock. Most homemade and mass-produced ice creams tend to be made with about 80 to 100% overrun, which means by volume, almost half the ice cream is air. Mystic Drawbridge makes all of their ice creams with only 20 to 50% overrun, which produces a richer, creamier, and more flavorful ice cream. They make all of their ice cream, frozen yogurt, and sorbets one batch at a time and carefully hand mix every batch, folding in the fresh fruits, nuts, and candies, and any other mix-ins. So if you want to check them out, they are located at 2 West Main Street in Mystic, Connecticut. Dr. Mike's Ice Cream in Bethel, Connecticut has routinely been ranked as some of the best ice cream in Connecticut. They call themselves the world's smallest ice cream factory, and they've been around since 1975. Dr. Mike's was named for a dentist, Dr. Michael S. Burnham, whose daughter, Mary Burnham, and her partner, Peter Seltzer, opened the store back in 1975. It's located in the rear of the old Knights of Columbus Lodge in downtown Bethel. They are known for their rich, small batch ice cream using high-fat cream, the finest ingredients, and big, generous scoops. And they still use the same recipes they did back in 1975. Their signature flavor is the chocolate lace and cream ice cream, which is their #1 best seller. It's made of broken chunks of hardened caramel candy covered in dark chocolate, made by a local confectionery and mixed with sweet cream ice cream. To give this and other flavors a try, head over to their shop on 158 Greenwood Avenue in Bethel, Connecticut. Big Daddy's homemade ice cream was started in 1976 by Jack Harmon, also known as Big Daddy, and Tyler McAvoy at 2165 Post Road in Wells, with ice cream churned right on the premises. The ice cream was made in a barn that was attached to the old house on the property. In 2020, longtime owners, husband and wife, Dan and Margaret O'Connell — Margaret actually was the original owner, Jack Big Daddy Harmon's daughter — well, they sold the business to Rainey and Melanie Trombley, and now Big Daddy's has multiple locations in Wells, Ogunquit, and Kennebunkport. And the Trombleys carry on the tradition of making homemade ice cream in-house using the same recipes that made Big Daddy's the iconic ice cream spot it is. The portions here are huge, and they offer a wide variety of flavors, including some more niche flavors like Maine blueberry pie, rum raisin, frozen pudding, chocolate almond joy, and standard ice cream flavors as well. You can visit the Big Daddy's locations in Wells, Maine at 2165 Post Road, Route 1, In Ogunquit, you can visit them at 478 Main Street as well as at 47 Shore Road. And in Kennebunkport, they are located at 6 Spring Street. Beal's Old Fashioned Ice Cream in Gorham, Maine was started by an entrepreneur, Roy Beal, and a chemist, Dr. Lawrence, who created the Beal's Ice Cream Mix formula. In 1988, the Malia family bought the rights to the recipes from Roy Beal and have been continuing to make their signature creamy, rich, super premium ice cream ever since. They make small batches, including unique flavors like Indian pudding, German fudge cake, whoopie pie, tea berry, and more. They have an offering of ice cream cakes, ice cream pies, and even ice cream pizzas. There are 3 locations, one being in Gorham, Maine, as I mentioned, which is located at routes 25 and 237, as well as locations in Portland, Maine, one at 12 Moulton Street in the Old Port and 18 Veranda Street in Portland. They also have a food truck called Beal's on Wheels, which you can hire for catering for your next event. I hope you've enjoyed this tasty adventure exploring some of New England's great ice cream places. If you're craving some ice cream, give these places a visit and chime in on Notable New England's social media channels, which are all linked in the show notes, or the community chat area at patreon.com/Notable New England, and share your favorite spots you'd like others to know about and to check out. I'll be back with a new episode of Notable New England on Sunday, August 17th, and I hope you'll tune in. Until then, indulge your sweet tooth and get out into your community to explore your area's yummy ice cream places. I'll see you next time.